Hey guys, it's IP here, back again today with some post-commentary sort of thing. It has nothing to do with Star Wars Battlefront, but, you know, that was what I put in the background because it's pretty fucking easy to record that game. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about something that, it really, it affected me today in particular while I was at work, and I wanted to address it. So for those of you who, go out and, go to, Starbucks or really any retail location or whatever, keep this in consideration and stuff, so that way everyone can get along and have a good time and enjoy the holidays and things like that. So basically today, this is a fairly common occurrence, especially at Starbucks, but I mean, it could happen anywhere, and I know it did happen at my last job as well, so I mean, that still remains relevant to anyone for that matter. But basically, obviously, when you go somewhere and you buy something and it's not what you expected or it's not what you intended on buying, you have every right to be upset, and that's, you paid for something specific. And if you don't get exactly what you're looking for, then you have the right to complain. You have the right to be like, oh, hey, can you get another one for me or something, or do something to make it all better, like kiss my boo-boo, please. But that's one of those things that we have the right to do in our society, free speech and freedom of money and shit or something. I don't know, there's probably something that goes along with that. But the idea is that today, or what actually happened today, and this does happen at Starbucks a lot, but today stood out to me, is that someone came in and obviously their thing wasn't, so they didn't get what they wanted, so that's fair. I mean, they pay for something as ridiculously priced as Starbucks coffee or whatever. Actually, I don't know, I think it was like a vanilla latte or something. Regardless, they paid for it and they didn't get it exactly the way they wanted it. So, I offered to remake it for them and even potentially refund it after they seemed really displeased, even after I offered to take the time to go and remake it for them, even since it didn't live up to their expectations or whatever, since that is what we are supposed to do. And quite frankly, with the amount of money they paid for the drink, I mean, $4 for some milk, some coffee, and vanilla shit, okay, I think you can we can afford to remake that for you. So after offering to redo that, and they still weren't really happy with it and continued to argue and complain without even really presenting any sort of idea or a way to make it better, I should say. I offered, to refund it to them, refund their money, and give them the drink for free. So basically, remake the drink and give them their money. So basically, just give them free shit, which I honestly have no problem with. If it makes them happy and prevents any further conflict, then that's fine on my part. I mean, I'm normally someone who's not very confrontational, and thus that's good on my book. Anyways, so that still didn't live up to their expectations, and they continued to complain and whine about nothing in particular. They just legitimately just kept saying the same thing over and over. This is what I was expecting. This isn't what I was expecting. And I'm legitimately what? What do you want? I mean, I remade it for you. I offer you to give your money back. There's literally nothing I can do further than that. And they continued to complain and complain and complain all the way up until the point where they left. Meanwhile, after this had all taken place, the drive times, if you don't know what that means, basically the time that a customer is, from the point where they place their order at the speaker box to when they leave and pull away with their drink or whatever they happen to order. That's the drive time. We try to keep it under 3 minutes, maximum 4. At this point, they've been sitting there for 7 or 8 minutes, which means basically the people behind them will be either getting discounted purchases or basically getting their stuff for free because they've been sitting there for probably 6, 7, 8 minutes because this person has been just complaining and complaining and complaining. This isn't even an unusual occurrence. It's not necessarily always because someone's complaining, but because, some sort of issue comes up and takes time. So we do oftentimes give stuff out heavily discounted or just completely free if they've been waiting for quite a long time, since obviously people coming through the drive-thru are looking for something fast. Now, that's another topic. that I could get into with the whole idea that people feel like they're entitled to, you know, really fast service and stuff like that. But that's for another video. Anyways, so after they basically, you know, complained and ended up like legitimately not ever reaching a conclusion and never really telling me exactly what they wanted me to do about it, they left with their remade drink, and that was that. So I'm not really sure what the hell I was supposed to do at that point, but you know, the fact is, I don't know if they're gonna come back. I don't know if they were displeased enough that they would never come back to the store or what. They never actually, again, there was no conclusion ever met, which, you know, feels terrible because I'd like to always make it, you know, better, and obviously losing customers isn't a great thing. But the point is not, you know, that specific circumstance. What I wanted to, or the reason I guess I'm telling this story, is because I wanted to sort of give you like a PSA to all of you people who are during the holiday season going shopping or going to Starbucks. I mean, obviously that's more applicable to me because I'm affected by everyone who goes to Starbucks and whatnot. But it really applies to any retail position or like location or whatever the hell you want to say. Just try to be a little bit more respectful with people, because oftentimes it seems like the customers and people who go to retail locations and Starbucks especially, they tend to forget that the people they are, you know, placing the orders with are, you know, human, and we do have to deal with that shit all the time. So if you come in and you're rude or, you know, you're complaining and stuff, we understand that, you know, obviously maybe you're not having the best day or whatever, or, you know, that you didn't get what you wanted exactly, it wasn't what you expected, and we are willing to make it right for you and stuff. But if you come up and you start like cussing us out because you got your cappuccino was too heavy or was too wet or whatever, like it wasn't your just fancy cup of bubbles, and you start cussing us out about it, there isn't exactly a very, you know, good incentive for us to want to remake your drink, to make it to your satisfaction, to, you know, get what you know, initially ordered. So basically, I know I've been kind of going all over the place for this video, but the point is, when you're going out, you know, doing your shopping, doing your holiday stuff, doing whatever it is that you do during the holidays, just try to be respectful of people. I mean, quite frankly, I've never, in the few months that I've worked at Starbucks, I've never gotten to the point where I like almost just can't handle something, like I just cannot deal with like a rude customer. And I have had people come up to the window, and when their cappuccino wasn't dry enough, they have started cussing me out, and I didn't even really break a sweat there. But today, for some reason, I'm not sure what it was, maybe it was just being tired or, you know, whatever, but that really threw me off, and quite frankly, it was completely unnecessary. And I mean, despite the fact that I offered literally to just give her stuff for free, she still wasn't happy with that. There was nothing I could do beyond that point. So just remember that everyone around you, they're human too, and if you treat them like shit, then, you know, it kind of ruins their day. Not saying that I treat people like shit who treat me like shit, but it definitely takes its toll on me over time. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.